What is up, guys? PocketCraft here, and welcome back to the Minecraft Pocket Edition Survival Guide. So today we're going to be exploring the end with the end goal, see what I did there, of finding some end cities, getting shulker boxes, and hopefully a elytra by the end of the episode. So one quick thing I want to cover before we go into the end is ender chests. So these are made with 8 obsidian and 1 eye of ender. I'm going to want to make 2. And this is something you definitely want to do before you go into the end to start exploring. So an ender chest is like a normal chest, but anything you put in the one will appear in the other. So I'll show you guys right now. I put a stack of dirt in there, and I put this down, and it's in here. However, it's important to note that with an ender chest, it can only be broken with silk touch. So if you don't have silk touch, you might not be able to break it. But the reason that's important is you're going to find some valuable things in the end, hopefully, like elytra. And if you don't figure out how to get back out, you may get trapped in there and lose your items. And sometimes the easiest thing to do is just put all your items in the ender chest and then jump off into the void. So I'm going to go into the end right now, and then we'll be able to talk about more things. So I got back in the end, and I actually found about 10 levels of experience, but I still have not found the dragon egg, which is really obnoxious. And also, I realized I forgot to bring one thing that you should probably bring with you, which is a shield. So I would definitely recommend bringing a shield with you because of the thing that's happening right now. Endermen will probably attack you because they're bums, but that's all right. What you're going to want to do as soon as you get here is go over to this little portal up here. One will appear somewhere around, and you're going to want to pillar up to it, which is a little bit sketchy. And because of that and a couple other things that are going to happen while you're here, you definitely want to make sure you still have potions of slow falling or boots with feather falling. I prefer the boots just because they're always there. You don't have to worry about drinking them when the other one comes out, but it's up to you guys, whatever is more accessible for you. And then you want to make sure you have ender pearls with you, otherwise you won't be able to get in here. And now, I mean, that won't be too much of an issue because if you don't have ender pearls, you can just fight the endermen that are here, kill a couple, and you'll be fine. But you do need them to go through here. And I'm going to show you guys how. It's probably a good idea to just build around it just in case, because if you throw wrong, you could theoretically get tossed off the edge. What you want to do is throw an ender pearl, which on Pocket Edition you just hold down right in there, and it should teleport you somewhere else. And so here we are. And now I'm actually going to take a screenshot, and I would suggest you guys do as well. It can be a little bit easy to get lost within the outer end islands where we are right now. So it's a good idea to try and keep track of where you came from so you can come back. There are other portals that you will find throughout here, but they can be a little hard to find sometimes. So just in case you don't find one, I would recommend doing that. You will find this growing all around here. You can break it, and it drops these little things called chorus fruit. So chorus fruit is actually the food that you can find in the end, so you won't run out of food, which is awesome. However, you got to be really careful. Don't eat it when you're near the edge, because when you eat it, it will teleport you a couple blocks away. So you just got to be careful because you do not want to get teleported somewhere crazy. And then one other thing are these things right here. If you break just that, you'll get a chorus, I believe this is chorus flower. And then those you can plant to actually grow these in other places. However, to find the things that you really want are end cities. And so end cities are where shulkers are, so you can get shulker boxes. They usually have some loot. And then if it has a ship on it, it also will have elytra. And now it's once you find one end city, it's really easy to find another. However, there isn't really much of a trick to find the first one. So it's a bit of luck. You just have to kind of go out and look around, just pillar out, and it'll search all these islands, and that's why you're going to want to make sure you bring plenty of blocks so you can do this. Be careful not to get endermen. You don't want to get thrown off your pillar here. But I'm going to go around and look for an end city, and once I find one, I'll explain to you guys a little bit about that, how to find other ones, and what to do when you get there. Alrighty, it actually didn't take long at all, and I already found my first end city. So there's one right there, which is awesome. However, it does appear to be a relatively small end city. A bonus to it is there is a portal right next to it, so we can get back to the overworld faster. However, we're going to have to keep exploring after that because this one does not have a ship coming off of it. which means that we'll be able to get Shulkers here, but we won't be able to get Elytra. And I'm taking a screenshot so I remember this place. And I'll show you Shulkers in a second. They're right there. But quick tip, if you find one end city, if you travel in the X direction, you should be able to find other cities more easily. Now, it's not a foolproof method, but it's about the only trick there is to finding them faster. So I'd definitely go with doing it. But these little purple guys right here are a mob called Shulkers. And the reason that I was telling you guys, you want to make sure that you have your feather falling or your potions of slow falling with you is because... Uh-oh, something's hitting me. There we go. Is because if Shulkers hit you, they shoot little bullets at you. And if they hit you, then it makes you go up in the air. And you'll float for a little bit, and then you'll fall back down. But I'm going to turn down my render distance really quickly because I think that makes it glitch a little bit. That's another tip. You'll want to turn your render distance on as high as you can because it'll make it easier to see end cities in the distance. And then just a quick thing to tell you guys, these right here are Shulker Shells, one of the most valuable items in the game. With 2 of those in a chest, you can turn it into a Shulker box, which is basically just like a portable chest. So you can hold way more items, carry way more items. The game gets much, much better after you have Shulker boxes in Elytra. It makes it a lot easier to do things. However, they don't drop a whole lot of them when you kill Shulkers. So it would definitely be nice and a good idea to have a sword with looting on it. If you don't, it's okay. You'll still be able to do it, right? Like it won't ruin it, but you'll definitely get a lot more if you have one with looting. So I would suggest trying to make that happen if you can. And now they often have these little spiral staircase things like this. And now if you were to get shot by a Shulker, you would just get floated up to the top, which is pretty nice. But it is a little bit dangerous, and so it's usually best to just try and go up here like this. You got to be careful. You don't want to fall down. And so in these rooms, there are usually a lot of them. As you can see, they're all over the place. And so you got to be a little bit careful. You'll probably get hit. And as you can see, I did get hit and got the levitation effect. And when that happens, I usually find it best to try and just go to the top here. It's a little bit safer up here. And actually, they will shoot each other sometimes and kill each other. And you can hit their things. And it's almost like baseball with the gas. And so it's pretty similar. But at the top, there's usually always loot. And usually pretty cool loot. That is Curse Binding, but it's not great. But as you see, there's 4 diamonds right here and gold. And this one, there's even more diamonds. Another saddle, which is awesome. So I'm actually going to put all of this loot in a Shulker box in my ender chest so that I can make sure that I don't lose all this loot in case I die along the way. And so I will just show you guys really quickly. Now there's a chest here. I can actually make a Shulker box really quickly, which is awesome. However, I think I will need a crafting table, and so I'll make a crafting table really quickly just so I can show you guys. So this is a Shulker box. You make it like that, and then I'll just show you. Oops, not a torch. I place down the Shulker box. I can put everything I want to keep safe in here, just like all this stuff. And then I'll grab everything from here and put it in there as well. The Curse of Binding really is unfortunate, but that's all right. Curse of Binding just makes it so you can't take it off when it's on there. Theoretically, I could just wear it till it breaks, I guess, or I could disenchant it, but we'll see. And so then what I want to do is you'll break the Shulker box, and now I can put it in the ender chest, and now it's safe. And I'm actually going to switch pickaxes, excuse me, I can't talk, so that I can break the ender chest and take it with me so I can put more items in here as I go along. So this will take a while to explore, and I'll continue exploring it, and I'm going to go look for another one, because really where we want to talk more is once I find an actual end ship. So I'm going to keep exploring. I'm going to raid this one, take out all those Shulkers, see how much I can get, and I'll bring you guys back in a little bit. Traveling in the X direction definitely works, because I already found another end city, and it hasn't been that long. Unfortunately, this one doesn't have a ship either, but I'll keep looking. I'll raid this one and then keep going and bring you guys back when I find one with a ship. All right, guys. I don't think I have ever been this unlucky before. You guys would not believe what I've been through. I know it's just been a second for you guys, but this has been several hours worth of work for me to get here. This is the 9th end city I've found, and this is the only one so far I've seen with an end ship, which is where you get Elytra. However, I almost didn't even see this end ship because it's so far away. Usually they're much closer than this. My render distance is at 16 chunks. As high as it can go, and you can barely see that. And so usually they will be some distance away from it, like they're flying away. Usually they're not that far, however, but they usually are a little bit away, but usually they're closer than that. And so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pillar over to that, which is a little dangerous. So I'm going to start doing that, and it'll take me a while, and then I'll bring you guys back. So this is kind of incredible. I actually figured out why it was so far away. It's part of a different end city. So it actually took me 10 end cities before I found a ship. But I think what I'm going to do is, because I don't have a whole lot of blocks, I don't know if I can reach it from here. So I'm actually going to go around to the other end city. Hopefully I don't die. I've died twice already, and I'll talk more about that later. But I'm going to go over to the other end city, and I might even risk it. I'm going to do something a little bit risky and just throw an ender pearl to this island so I don't have to walk around as far. And so that's something that you can do to travel in the end a little bit quicker. But you have to be really, really careful, because what happened to me earlier, this black area here is the void. If you fall in there, you're dead. And so you got to be really careful not landing there. And earlier, I fell in there, tried to save myself with an ender pearl, and just barely missed. But I'll show you guys ender pearls. You can throw them, and wherever they land, you teleport to. So that's really, really convenient, fast travel. And so this is one of the bigger end cities I've seen. That's another thing. They do vary in size. Oh gosh, I'm being attacked by an enderman. And hopefully I don't die. I have died to enderman while in here one of the times as well. And it's a lot harder to fight them with screen recording on because the sound is quieter. But I'm going to head on over to this end city. I'm going to raid it. It's very big, so probably be some good stuff in it. It's either the biggest or second biggest one I've seen. And then I'm going to go to the ship. But I'll bring you guys back when you get to the ship because we've already talked a little bit about how end cities work. Okay, this is actually insane. I think the game felt bad and it's rewarding me for having spent like 10 hours in the end and finding like 10 different cities without a ship, because there's another city right here, so 3 right in a line, which is incredibly rare. That like has never happened to me that I've found some this close together, especially this many, and one with a ship. And so this one actually has a portal by it too, which is awesome, because I was going to do the method where you just put everything in a ender chest and then jump off and die and go back to your base, but now I don't have to do that. And so I'm going to raid this one actually no, I'll raid that one last. And so I'm a little worried about making sure I get the Elytra, so I'm going to go raid this. I'm going to go over to the ship, and I'm going to immediately put the Elytra in my ender chest, just because I've died so many times, I am not risking it again. And, I mean, it's a little risky because I don't have Silk Touch anymore, because my Silk Touch pick went into the void, and then so did the other one that I got from here, also went into the void. Like I said, I've been here a while and died a couple times, but I'm going to go raid through this. It's pretty big. There'll probably be some cool stuff in here. Then we'll go show you how the end ship works. So as you can tell from the shulker shots coming at us, we have made it to the ship here, which is awesome. And this is one of the places where you are definitely going to want to make sure you have Feather Falling 4, which is why I am very grateful, because, oh no, see, yeah, you're going to get shot up really high. And you can try and be sneaky with a water bucket and might pull it off, but that would be really hard. And this is bad, actually. We're getting shot up really high. So I'm really grateful I got Feather Falling 4, because I lost it when I lost all my good armor and gear and stuff. I lost my boots with Feather Falling 4, and so I was actually really worried. Because if I didn't have Feather Falling 4, I would have died right there. But when raiding this, I found some boots with Feather Falling 4, and so that was super clutch. Potions of Slow Falling would work as well. And we do actually have, even though I said we didn't, I found out we do. Gosh dang it. We got hit again there. We do have a Silk Touch pick. And so we were able to get, actually, we got multiple ender chests just from going in there and raiding that. And so that was awesome. And so I keep getting shot, and I'm not sure who it is that's shooting me, because I don't think it's the guy on the front there. But there is one other thing I want to show you, right? So I'll show you where the Elytra is in here. But before we get to the Elytra, I want to show you the dragon's head. And so I'm going to sit here and heal up for a second so we don't die, because we keep getting hammered here. And we're going to avoid that shulker up the front, because he's causing us a lot of issues. Let's duck under here really quickly. And actually, before we go to the dragon head, we'll just get Elytra, because it's easier and simpler to get. So when you go in here, every ship is designed pretty much the same. Right here, there are potions of instant health that you can take. And I'm going to take the brewing stand too, because why not? And then down in here is where you'll actually find Elytra. So there's these lanes of obsidian, if you really want, but I don't really need that. And then there's always a shulker right here that you got to take out. And then there's 2 chests full of loot. And both of these actually have very good loot. So we're going to put down our ender chests. And there's some iron in here. 2 saddles. We have more saddles than we know what to do with now. Fortune 3 pick, which is nice. I might combine that with my efficiency pick, and we'll have a pretty good pickaxe. Thorns, blast protection, frostwalker. Then we have silk touch, unbreaking 3, curse of vanishing, which kind of sucks, but efficiency 5. A mending sword. That's pretty sweet. 7 diamonds. Holy cow. 13 iron. Yeah, this is pretty dang good. And then this right here is the thing we came for. You got to break it, and there's some Elytra. And once we get back to the overworld, I'll show you guys how Elytra actually works. And I'm going to actually have to make a shulker box really quickly, or we're not going to be able to fit all this stuff in our ender chest. So I've had to do that a couple times, and this is the beauty of shulker boxes, is you can fit just about anything. Especially if you got shulker boxes and an ender chest, you can fit all sorts of stuff. And so we'll put all this in here, and I'm really curious. We'll do a count up once we get back to the overworld. I'm very curious how many diamonds we actually got just from end raiding, because we've gotten quite a lot, I'm pretty sure. And so that is sweet. And I don't think you even need a pickaxe to break a shulker. You might need a pickaxe, actually. I would use one just in case. I'm going to nab this as well, because you can always use those, and I'm going to take these. And then I'll show you guys really quickly how to get the dragon's head, and then we'll go to the overworld, because I've got a couple things I want to talk to you guys about in the overworld. All right, I finally cleaned up my mess, and now we're going to go back up here. And to get the dragon's head, you go to the front here, and it's very dangerous, actually, so you're going to want to be careful. And I got to get some building blocks out here, and you're going to want to go, and you build around it. It's right there at the front. You can probably see it, but you got to be really careful, and you're going to want to make sure you build under it so it doesn't go into the void, because that would stink. Then you wouldn't be able to get it. And so, that should be good right there. And then this is the dragon's head, so you can, oops, I just broke leaves instead of the head. So you can break it, and then you get it, and you can actually replace it with a helmet. And let me go really quickly to third person, and yep, you can wear it on your head. So that's pretty fun. It doesn't have much practical use, but it's pretty fun to play with. And so I'm going to finish cleaning up here. I'm going to raid that last end city, and I'll show you guys what happens when you hop through the portal, and then we'll go back to the overworld. So, as you can tell, there's been a change of plans. As I was going to get off the end ship, I accidentally slipped and fell into the void and died. So I'm not going to show you what happens when you go through one of those portals, but basically, actually it's pretty cool. It opens up another one of those portals where you originally spawn into the end, so that you can go to different parts of the end islands, outer end islands. So it's actually really convenient. So I wish I would have been able to do that, but we can go back and do that at a later time. I've had my fill of the end, been in there for several hours, and so I have lost quite a few of the things that I've actually gotten from the end, because I keep dying, and I've lost a lot of other things too, like my really good bow, which I think is probably the thing I'm most sad about. But I've picked up a lot of cool stuff too. So I'm going to go through really quickly and show you guys everything I've picked up. So I've sorted out all the spoils, and unfortunately, they would be a lot more if I hadn't have died so many times, but that's all right. So let's look in the first shulker box. I put armor in here. We've got 2 diamond leggings. I think I had at least 4 of these before I died. And I also had some other diamond armor type things. Oh, and I just remembered, I wasn't even thinking about it. I just got those new feather falling diamond boots and then died, so I lost those as well. So I had a lot more armor, but it's okay. I got most of them now. Got a bunch of iron armor. I'm not really going to go through that because I don't plan on using iron armor anymore. Then this chest, I have all the valuable type things I've got, plus seeds, because I didn't know where else to put those, which is pretty awesome. 19 diamonds is insane. A stack and a little bit of iron and gold. 7 emeralds, 6 saddles, which I'm actually really excited about because I want to do an episode about how you ride all the animals. 4 things of horse armor, 3 iron, and 1 diamond. I'm definitely going to put the diamond horse armor on Shadowfax once I go rescue him because he's out in the middle of nowhere right now. The dragon head, 32 beetroot seeds. Then in here we have weapons, which once again, this was like probably double as well, but I died so many times. We've got 1 iron sword, which is just mending, which isn't bad. We can add other things on there, but not just a great start. Some iron swords aren't really important. Fortune 3 pick. Silk touch unbreaking 3, efficiency 5 pick with curse of vanishing. And an efficiency 3 diamond pick, which I just dropped. bunch of iron stuff, but then unbreaking 3, efficiency 4, mending 1 shovel, that is a really good shovel actually. And then a silk touch shovel. So that's pretty sweet. I'm actually really excited about that shovel. And then in here, I've got almost 2 stacks of Shulker Shells, plus the 4 Shulker boxes here. And once again, that would have been more as well. 3 ender chests, which that was way more. It was probably like 6. The Elytra, which is the best thing we've gotten today. And we'll talk probably more about how to use that next episode because we're running a little long on time here. Brewing stand, 2 healing potions, and just kind of some miscellaneous stuff. But I would say all in all, that was a pretty successful end trip. I mean, it kind of sucked how much we went through, and there's a creeper outside my house, so I'm going to take care of that. And I lost a lot of my gear, which I'm sad about. I'm going to have to get new good gear in the coming episodes, but we'll work on that probably behind the scenes. I'll just update you guys on as I get stuff. But if you want to learn how to use Elytra right now before I get to the next episode, I actually have a quick tutorial on how to do that, and I'll put it above right now. It's just about 2 minutes. You'll learn super fast, easy. So check it out if you want to know how to use Elytra on Pocket Edition. But that'll be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please show it by giving me a like. It helps me out a ton. I really appreciate it. If you're new, subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys all in that next video.